So yeah, I'm Rod Fuente. Thanks so much for having us here. We're really excited to be part of the program here with HSMAI. You already heard some of the things from Magnus and what's going on with Booking.com. So we'll introduce Lauren Gray. So Lauren is an internationally recognized authority in the field of hospitality marketing, has appeared as an expert yearly at numerous national industry conferences spanning the hospitality and digital marketing industry. In addition to participating and sharing on numerous reports and organizations, Lauren is a past chair of the Digital Marketing Council of the HSMAI. HSMAI recognized Gray as one of the top 25 extraordinary minds in sales and marketing, and he currently serves on the board of Americas for HSMAI's international organization. And he may or may not walk on water. Just so I heard. I don't know. So, Lauren Gray.
Thank you very much. We'll basically want to hear this out a little bit. A couple of precursor things. One, this little cute thing is a camera. It's actually a real cool camera. It'll follow you around and stuff. We're recording the session. That'll be made available for you to play back. So don't worry about catching up with something because we're going to go off on tangents, rabbit holes, and directions. I start every time with the same deck and end up completely different each time. As a matter of fact, Fran is keeping my time because I'm chronic for going over. And so she's going to put a buzzy little dog collar on me eventually, just make me fall off at some point. Yes, that's another way for us to communicate. I also will be doing a 360 video, which you'll see me run around with a little globy thing, which we're going to talk about in the presentation a little bit. Also, there'll be a website link I'll give you at the end that will have this presentation in its original format, where I take the time to do it as a webinar, so you can just go through it at your own pace, look at the slides and all that stuff, so you don't have to worry about catching up on those things. Whatever notes you want to take, obviously, but that way you don't miss anything from what I intended the presentation to be, and where we ended up going off in some directions and so forth. I've tried to cut this presentation down to keep it in the genie in the bottle, and I'm still going to have a hard time doing it, so I'm going to kind of push through some stuff real quick. I do want to say that I have a really awesome opportunity to play as a sparring partner to a very, very talented person, and Victoria, that she's going to bring a comparison, and I know from our discussions, we see eye to eye on where all this is going. We just don't see eye to eye on how we're going to get there. So it's going to be kind of fun as we dialogue through this process. I get to speak first, which is cool because you'll tear everything apart, and then I get to fight for it or something. But I do have a challenge to you, and this is a sincere challenge that nobody's been able to knock me off the hill yet. I want you to think, while we go through this process, of the worst revenue management problem we have right now. Whether it's a whole 2 weeks from now for a group, whether it's a business cycle downturn, increased inventory in your market, depression in your market, whatever it is, think of what it is. And my challenge to you at the end of what I'm going to do, I want to take at least 5, if not 10 minutes, fingers crossed, before Victoria comes up, and you present it. And between the collective mind of the room and us, if we don't either solve it, or I get you in the right direction to solve it, you get 3 hours of my time for free, which hopefully at some sort of compensation level adds value to the proposition, bringing it to the table for everyone. Of course, we're not going to talk about pricing strategies or anything like that, but we'll talk about actual marketing, revenue management, collaboration, data usage, whatever way it goes in the direction, depending on the problem. So please keep that in mind. And I'm going to ask Fran to remind me to give me enough time to do that because we cut it short, but even in that cutting short, so far, so good. We've not had a problem. We haven't been able to at least get in the right direction on it so far. We've done that, I don't know, 8, 9 times or something so far. So with that, I will go over and go quickly through a lot of stuff. CHRM, which is the hospitality certification. I say the M is actually for marketing and not revenue. To be bold to say, first off, why is everybody here? Who's revenue management? I know I saw hands earlier. What do you want out of this? I mean, literally, we're at the top of the hill. Where do you want to go?
In terms of the marketing piece?
Marketing, revenue, where do you want out of this?
Gosh, I think what the takeaway that I would want from it is when conditions change, how can us revenue professionals conform to the marketing of the product in terms of the rates, how we illustrate things of what our word choices, things of that nature.
Perfect. We'll make sure it's in there because it is, which is good. Thank you. Actually, anyway, who else? What else? Some people have the presentations. Other than revenue management, we have a GM. Who else is in here besides our gracious sponsorships who have great perception of what we're doing? I always go over and get to test my ideas against everyone in the sponsorship level because they have an in-depth understanding of our industry that they don't often get to share as much as they could. So it's always fun to see how my ideas pop against them knowing what's actually going on in some of their channels. What else? What are some things that you're looking for? Driving ADR. Okay. Anyone else? I am going to keep dragging you out of these conversations. Yes?
Things that are coming, like there was some I mentioned earlier, but things that are coming, new things that haven't become mainstream yet.
Good, because that portion of my presentation, hopefully, which I call getting to scare the bejeebers out of you, because there's stuff that scares us in what we're doing, that we're going to lose control of our industry and turn into a commodity, because we're on that path right now, and I've helped on some of that with some of the consulting I've done with some companies as to what they're building for stuff, and we'll hit on that as well. All right, that'll give us enough to get started for this. Let me say first off that everyone that's a revenue manager, everyone that is a marketer, we are going to be out of a job very soon. Because unless we do collaborate, unless we do blend our skill sets together, us operating in silos will be our destruction. We have to combine our data usage and our methodologies collectively into a new entity that doesn't exist as of yet. It works in some organizations where they've been smart enough or leading edge enough that they can put the two together, but there's all too many that are still operating as that's the marketing people and those are the revenue people. And these are the operations, these are the accounting, and these are everybody else in the organization, but they're not collectively working together. So keep in mind that unless we do come together, we won't survive in our individual entities with this. Now I know Ideas is in the room, and I don't mind taking this from their website, because Jane, who was with you all, kind of borrowed my idea, which, and actually gave me credit for it, was great. I said, revenue management is a lot like driving a car looking through the rearview mirror. This little animation, I took the audio out because it is part of their pitch program. But the idea is that what's ahead of us is blurry in their imaging because what they're looking at is the rearview mirror. You're trying to determine where you want to get to from data and knowledge that you have from behind you. So it's a lot like driving a car, looking in the rearview mirror, seeing where you are relative to where you know you've been, and assuming where you're trying to get to and know where to turn and whatnot. Unfortunately, as the animation shows, you can tend to bump into things if you don't know that. Marketing is the inversion of that. Is the knowledge of where you are, where you're going, because you have data and things to show you this, but you don't have all this strategic knowledge of where you've been to know what's of value for that. What street address you're coming to or what intersection you need to make a turn over left or versus a right. Marketing doesn't know that. So collaboration between the two is the most paramount combination we can offer. So this is, I'm also, I have to apologize in advance, I'm a geek, movie geek, and this is to facilitate a point. I love dropping little video things in. This is from the movie Minority Report. I don't know if you're all familiar with that. And the context of the movie was that there was these people that could see in the future. Well, what my point of making this is, which I'll play the video for in a moment, is that we have the amazing, unique task between what marketing and revenue management does to be exactly at the right moment, with the right information, with the right product, to the right person. And to illustrate how interesting that can be, let's see if I can make this run from over here. This is the person that's supposed to see in the future. You get a good excuse to watch a sci-fi movie. Let's go. What happened? Right place, right time. You would not think sometimes the strategies that you have, doing what you're doing at the time that you're doing them, are really the right thing at the right time until something like that happens. Where your price in the right market, to the right people, at the right time of the messaging, the right channel that they're using, at the right stage of their interest. It literally is looking to stand in the place that lightning is going to happen. That's your job, that's my job, every day, is to determine what that is. The days of advertising Well, let's go through the stages of advertising. You have advertising. Advertising traditionally was putting ads up, whatever they may be, wherever they may are, as simple as putting a billboard on the side of the road. For those who go back far enough, that used to be it, or the hotel book. Remember the big fat hotel book you used to put stuff in? If you weren't in the book, you were in a hotel. And that was it. And you spent a lot of money doing that. And then it kept progressing. So what then happened from there was you get into targeted advertising. What was targeted advertising? Well, you chose what magazines or what publications you were going to put your content in based on the type of client or a customer or guest that you wanted. Then came things like retargeting. Anybody want to go over and join the conversation and tell me what they think retargeting is? Retargeting. In a nutshell, yes.
Targeting guests that have already visited your website yet.
Perfect. That's a great example of people that have come to your website. You know whom they are because you can track them. And you then offer an offer to them on another platform that they've gone to after they've arrived at your website. That's one of many ways, but it is a direct way of retargeting. Well, what's programmatic advertising? What is that? Is anybody, first off, anybody not heard of it? Not heard of it? Good. Yes, sir. What's programmatic advertising?
So programmatic is that you know the consumer, you know who that person is that you're marketing to on a very intimate level.
Right. And what's a good example of programmatic advertising that would be an obvious one for us? Facebook. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk a little bit about very specific solutions that Facebook can provide you to answer your question about using tools to better refine who it is that you're advertising to and what benefit you can get from it. So, and as I put my little cursor go back here, there we go. I don't like those little blinky things that it shows. Okay. I will also begin to jump around on these things as we go through this. I want to make this a statement. You can read it faster than I can read it to you. The point out of it is people are shifting what they're interested in doing in life. It used to be that they followed the dogma that I want to go and have a home, I want to have a location, I want to have a basis, I want to have a neighborhood, I want to have a community, I want the American dream. This is something that comes up that says, not really. That instead, I want experiences. Now, this is driven by ages, and I'm not going to quantify people by calling them millennials versus non-millennials or whatever. This is a shift in everyone's opinion. It's not just age-based. The age may have influenced how many people are influenced by it, but it's still a persona that's growing that says, I don't need that house in the suburbia anymore. What I do need is adventures and experiences that I get to share and cherish in my life. So it has changed how we handle our lives. So, let's for fun. Everyone, and this is odd to do in a presentation, for those who have iPhones, take one out for a moment. I would do the Android explanation on the side of it as well, but it slows things down. So, for those who are sitting next to someone that has an iPhone, you can look over their shoulder. For anybody that shut off their location-based services, don't waste your time because it's not going to show what I hope you see. But if you haven't, take the exercise and follow the steps very quickly. And go into your settings, privacy, location service, so forth and so on. And for the first person that gets to the bottom of the explanation, please raise your hand because I'd like to ask you what you see. Yes?
Just about everything is available.
Everything you've been to, how long you were there, every place you visited. That's our marketing world. I have that data on you. As a matter of fact, I have that data plus a lot of other platforms you're using, and when I compare them all, you lose your ambiguity of your digital avatar, your generalness, to actually I can begin to understand you as an individual and market to just you. Because I can track where you are, and what you're doing, and how long you're spending, and that's just your phone. That's not even all the data, that's just your phone data that can be shared. Anybody get a little nervous about that? I mean, did you know before? Who didn't? Yes.
So if mine's off, it means.
No location-based services means that they're not tracking it at least from that portion, but that's not everything that they track.
Right.
But that portion of your phone not having location services at least stops that aspect of the data, yes. But other services still track you. Anybody, like, not surprised or surprised? What are your general reactions? I know you're smiling.
Oh, it's all common areas, so it's like, it's not really too far from the norm of where I've been.
But I do know at least close enough, and as beacon technology gets better, Hilton rolled it out, Marriott's rolled it out, that will get more finite. And that information more specifically about businesses and vendors and location, plus there's a lot better software that actually tracks beyond just what the phone is capable of doing. The phone tries to be nice about it. Apple and Google try to be nice about not being too invasive, even though they truly are, compared to some programs that are even extremely invasive. And they follow very specific things down to 10 centimeters in distance from your phone location to where you are in height and location. That retailers use that a lot. It's a program called 411, and it actually will know where you are in the store, at what level of the aisle that you're looking, and exactly what's in front of you by 6 centimeters product-wise, which
Do
is
grocery stores use that?
some, not many. I mean, the big retail, Nordstrom's a big one that uses it a lot. It's pretty expensive, so it's pretty much the big players right now, those who are left. All right, this is our world. I took this from Marriott, because I built some other stuff with this. This is our categorizations of our guests. Now, the reason why I put the two in contrast, why did the phone and now do this? The phone shows you your individuality. You travel and do different things. You're in different locations. You're seeing different things. But we, as an industry, this is how we see our guests. As I often like to ask, when was the last person somebody walked up to your desk and said, "Hi, I'm a Smurf"? But that's 5 categories of our business now. We identify them. Why do we identify them in these categories? Just from a functional point of view, why do we identify them this way? Tracking, yes. Anything
Marketing
else?
strategies.
Strategies. It helps us quantify them. Because we really can't mathematically fathom the individuality of all of our guests. We just can't handle that as an individual, that kind of diversity of knowledge. That's where artificial intelligence comes in, which is what we're going to have later in the presentation. We need artificial intelligence for us to quantify, to keep the entity as an individual, but to be able to predict its usability. So this is why we do the categorizations. But what happens when we categorize people like this is we treat them like that. I may look like Barney the dinosaur because I wear purple today, but I don't like Barney. But you wouldn't know, you might think I'm actually liking Barney because I wear big purple shirts or something. We tend to stereotype all of us. It's a natural behavior of our human personality to categorize people because it's our fastest way to determine how to interact with them. So we do no different in our own business. We try to categorize them into these types of groups. Unfortunately, we lose the individuality of giving them what we do as a business, which is hospitality. The heart of the servant, the ability to serve our guests. That's our business. We're out to make sure that we give the best service to our guests. Categorizing them diminishes that to a degree. Okay. This is how we see everybody. Business cycle. We refer to it as funnels. We refer to it as the consumer journey, the consumer cycle. We keep put different labels on it, but at the end of the day, we say, we get business, we do a little bit before they get to us, we deal with them when they're with us, and then we deal with them when they're gone. That's pretty much our mentality of how we interact with our guests. Unfortunately, and for all of us who have personally experienced our own travel adventures, we're not just these categories. There's a tremendous amount of dialogue just in the acquisition process as to what got me to come here to this hotel. And to that, I'd like to bring this up as an exhibit discussion without standing in front of it. Everything from here to here is your revenue world. It's the timeline of your booking window, the date of stay, the duration of stay, the departure date. That's your world of knowledge. This is the world of knowledge of marketing. What brought you there? Where was your discovery phase? Where was your engagement phase? Where was your comparison phase? When we say phases, it's just the word we're throwing in. What was that mix over there in that gray zone that created the knowledge awareness to create an action? Now, Google calls this ZMOT. Anybody ever heard of ZMOT? Neither did I. I was at a conference. I was actually at the keynote. People were like, the keynote asked a question that everybody had the answer to. I'm like, I don't know what ZMOT is. Zero moment of transaction or transition. There's actually 2 different ways people refer to it. And it's the moment that somebody decides to act on what they're seeing. That moment that you decide to purchase. That's why you always have the action button everywhere, so that no matter where they are within your website or program, that you can choose. Okay, I want to do something now. Okay? Well, that's your ZMOT right here. What brings them to the ZMOT is where marketing becomes revenue management. We're diving into Facebook. Who hasn't heard, reverse it. Who has heard of custom audiences and lookalike audiences? 1, 2, 3. For those who haven't, a custom audience is when people sign up with Facebook, they use an email address to create an account. You, anybody that wants to advertise on Facebook, can take a list of emails, just the emails, and send them to Facebook and say, Facebook, here's some emails. Who do you recognize from these emails? And usually you get 50 to 80%, depending on the list source. I mean, obviously, you deal with business people's email addresses, you're less likely to get a lot of them. But if you have a personal email address, you're not likely to get a lot of them. And then Facebook comes back and says, hey, I know 50% of them. Now, you don't know their individual names anymore, nor did you before you just sent them the email list, perhaps, but you now know everything Facebook knows about them, which is quite extensive. You may think whether you contributed to the content or not on your Facebook page, or your age, your birth date, your city of birth, your city of where you live, or whatever it is, that Facebook knows a lesser amount of you. No. It knows who you react to, what pictures you like, how long you watch videos, what you comment on, what you share, and through that extrapolation, that artificial intelligence, that algorithm as they call it, it's able to find more and more about you, to define who more and more you are, because their job is to be relevant. It's a persistent word for search engines, it's a persistent word for social platforms. They want to be relevant to you, so you keep using them. Obviously, if you were on Facebook and saw a bunch of stuff you weren't really interested in from people you didn't even know, you'd be less likely to keep going back to Facebook. But it doesn't do that. It does the reverse. There's a whole other dialogue about that, creating an echo bubble around you, as a matter of fact. But all that information is now available to you as a marketer. So I used to make a joke years ago when Facebook first started allowing you to use custom audiences. That I said I could go over and offer a one-armed Hindu in Amish country Tex-Mex, because you literally can create a folder and a filter for that kind of client in Facebook. You can now add to that, because Facebook is so connected to so many other data sources, that you can say that owns a home in New York that's worth $3 million, that drives a BMW, and also owns a Mercedes that's at least 2 years old, has 2 daughters, one that goes to Cornell and one that goes to Penn State, and you still have an audience to go over and advertise to. Why is that important? Because it's not volume, it's quality. There's 2 different strategies. Obviously, there's sometimes for quantity. Procter & Gamble wants quantity. They don't want to sell a toothbrush. They need to sell 1 million toothbrushes. We don't need to sell our room, we need to sell a lot of rooms. So we have to define what group we want to identify to get too specific. But the idea is this: the knowledge that's most valuable is actually in your hands. And that is the engagement knowledge of your guest in particular, the people that are coming to your front desk, and those who are coming through your portfolios, that you see where they're coming from, your feeder markets, that's revenue management, time of year, that's business cycle, type of purchase, that's inventory type. That's the data that you as revenue management and operations has, that marketing needs to identify using Facebook to better bring your product in front of the right people. Now, I'll give you some examples of that, but the last before we get to that is lookalike audiences. For those who's in sales, there's a couple people in sales. Perfect. Yes, thank you. Did you guys ever do the American Express lookalike audience thing?
Are we using it?
No, did you ever do it?
No.
Okay. It was really expensive. Basically what the American Express offers, they walked around and said, hey, we know who's using American Express at your hotel, and we're going to take their emails. We're not going to give it to you. We're going to take their emails. What do you want to offer them, and pay us $40,000 to do that? Okay. Well, Facebook, you can make lookalike audience much more advanced than just their credit card use, and you can do it for free. Now, what lookalike audiences are is taking your custom audience, which remember was an email list that you had provided, which may have been your guest list then. And we'll get to some details about that kind of data. But say you take your guest list and you throw it to Facebook, you're not promising to find that in their privacy, because there is no individuality to those. That's quantity of, just like you're using an email list when you send a group trade product or whatever. So you send this out, you make custom audience, you take that custom audience and say, hey Facebook, within 1% to 10% exactly the same, can you give me an audience in the continental United States that's just like them? So what do you think the purpose of something like that would be best suited for? I'm going to say that because I had a cough. Sorry. What's some usages of something like that?
They don't give you the email addresses.
Nope.
Facebook marketing.
Facebook marketing, which means, yes? Geotargeting. Picture this. You have a certain clientele that comes into your hotel at a certain time of year. You've taken a certain email list of those people that arrive during that certain time of year. Maybe it's your business group that comes in. You give it to Facebook and you create a custom audience. You then ask Facebook to make a lookalike audience, which means within 55,000 points of data, these people are between 1 and 10% exactly the same. If this person likes your product and is a previous guest, there's a really high likelihood that somebody almost just like them, who doesn't know about your product, would also want your product. Now you go from a list of a couple of thousand to a couple of million. So why waste dollars broadcasting out that advertising level stuff, like I hope somebody sees this, it's like throwing up a flare, I hope there's a boat around, versus there's a boat right there, and I want to talk to them. They're the ones, their likelihood is to go over and want my product because they're very similar to people that already do. Okay, I'm going to skip the first one. That's a high-end one, made a lot of money off of that. Go to this one. Okay, practical examples. And I think there was someone in the group for catering that was asking about a catering example. And so this is it. I had a hotel that lost 62% of its occupancy 2 weeks out on a weekend for a group block loss. The group had to cancel due to a tragedy, so we didn't want to push the attrition clause on them. They're a repeat group. It was a tragedy that we had to cancel for. Still, we had a 62% occupancy drop 2 weeks out. For those in revenue management, what's the best solution I have for something like that?
Drop the rate.
Yeah, okay. It's the drop rate. That too. It's like, okay, let's see what residual demand is still in market. Let me drop rate. Oh, you made an enemy of every one of your comp set, and you're out there fishing for any type of business. What happens to the business you already have on the books?
They buy down.
Buy down, you put money back on the table, you're kind of messed up. Okay, we didn't do that. What we did do was create custom audiences. We took everyone that was on the books for that weekend, for that business, 2 days of the festival. And we made a custom audience. Took the emails up, made a custom audience up. Then we took everybody that was same time last year that had stayed with us. Why would we do that? Well, if they stayed with us the same time last year, there may be a similar interest this year that they want to stay for as well. Made a custom audience out of them. Now we pulled this data out of the CRM. Then we took everybody that had a zip code within a 150-mile radius. Why 150-mile radius? Drive market. It's only 2 weeks out. Nobody's going to fly in. Your booking window for most air flight carriers, unless you buy a hub, is less than 21 days, usually 17. So you're already under that. You're less likely that somebody's going to buy you a short ticket and come in 2 weeks, no matter how good the offer. We then matched them all together into a campaign, but we did take the ones that were on the books, that custom audience, and we made it a negative audience, meaning what we're about to do, nobody's going to see. We took the group rate, which was just a little bit below bar, threw it out. That was the time we sold out. Doesn't happen all the time. It did happen here, that's why it's an example. It's knowing how best to target. It's not about broadcasting. You could have broadcasted the group rate in general. You just said, give it to the marketing dude. Let them go on all the channels. Hopefully something's out there they're going to want. One, it wasn't a great enough incentives on the rate. Two, it was generally out to everybody. So the likelihood is you're going to get very little in return. Plus, you're broadcasting it out. Anybody that was already on the books most likely will put money back on the table for not taking the same rate. So, here's a couple other examples. I had the privilege of speaking at Focusrite years ago before they started making people pay to do that. And I was working for a hotel ownership company, and I lived in Florida, just north of this place, but I didn't want to fight the traffic in the morning, so I decided I want to stay at the hotel since I was speaking in the morning. So I called them up, it was $499 rate. I'm like, yeah, the company's not going to pay that. But we had a hotel just up the road. And so I was like, I called them up and said, hey, I hope you guys are sold out because, working for a company, you can't just post your revenue. And they said, oh, no, we're at 60-something% of where it was. I'm like, what? What about the big conference down the road? And they're like, what big conference? I'm like, do you guys do reader boards? So, anyway, so what I did was, I said, what's your bar rate? Now, what you got, just, what is your bar? It was $100 less than theirs. And they were obviously offering a lot less than that on most other channels. So I made this ad. Attending Focusrite, enjoy 4 diamond service for almost $100 less, just 5 minutes up the reach from the conference. I isolated everybody that liked Focusrite. I isolated everybody that liked the lead sponsors of Focusrite. And that's the only people that saw this ad. They ended up selling out for 7 days and getting a few more extra thousand people following their page. Because it talked to the people that were most interested at the time they were interested in it. And this was only a couple of weeks prior to the conference. It wasn't as if that I had months to do this. This was being able to put it in front of the right people at the right time. The point I'm making with these examples is focused targeting as a marketer for what you need as revenue management solutions. F&B example. Same company, actually. Beautiful restaurant, right on the beach, $35 million renovation, gorgeous property, near but not attached to the hotel. Was losing business on their Friday nights. Now, I used to own restaurants and back before internet ever existed, and I kind of applied old school marketing with kind of new school tactics here. So in the market, there was 71 walk-through competitors because it was a density downtown market. So once you got to the downtown and parked, you went everywhere you wanted to go. Okay? And there was 71 restaurants to go to. We were losing market interest because there was a lot of new places to go to. Even though we were recently renovated, it's been around for 35 years. Everybody knew about the place. They wanted to go to the new places. Sound familiar? So, what we did was we did it for free. I went over and made lots of posts. And I isolated females, 24 to 34, that were single. Because the old school marketing was, when I used to run a restaurant, if I needed business for happy hour or things like that, the fastest way to fill my restaurant was to get young single women in. Because the young single dudes would be there. So, we targeted young single females, 24 to 34, who indicated they were single, liked live music, because we had live music in the evenings, within a 5-mile radius. Posted at 5 p.m. when that old buzzy conversation, what are you going to do after, where we're going to go, that kind of thing. We had 50 parking spots for the restaurant. At 5:45, I had to take the ad down because we were full. The parking lot was full, because what I offered them was show this post and get free valet parking for the night. That was the currency of the realm, because once you're there, you're going to do all the stuff you're going to do. So we knew we just want to get happy hour going. We're going to do this again when the music kicked on at 10 o'clock at night. We're going to say, hey, you want live music? Come on in. We're going to offer, because we figured these people would move off and do something. No, they didn't. We ended up offering free drinks because at 9:45 when we launched the next one, we did free drinks. We took it down at 10:30 because the place never emptied. And we're thinking, all right, lightning. Wow, this is great. We're never going to be able to do that. Just like hitting the red button anytime we wanted to. We changed the offers, we changed the demographics, we started isolating those that worked in legal offices, medical offices, people that worked for certain industries that had clusters of employees. Who still blitzes, by the way? Any old do blitzes still? Sales teams and stuff? Possible
With
suggestion.
confirmed appointment.
Okay.
Not like unannounced.
Okay, I was a big cookie bag fan. My challenge was anything that said no solicitation, I got it. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I used to be a GM of hotel stuff, so I loved going on blitzes and stuff. But anyway, the alternative. Everybody follows the company that they work for on Facebook. Most of them do. I can't say 100%. Most people do follow the company they work for. It's a filter. I can go to any, just take your top 10 employers in the market and target them whatever you want to. It doesn't have to be an L&R rate, look negotiated rate. It could be, that's for your corporate relationship. This is to get your employees to say, you have family visiting? We got a deal for you. You're coming into town for training, and they're not offering an alternative because they didn't negotiate, or you're not the negotiated hotel. Steal them. As a matter of fact, there's some really cool things to do with Facebook, where you can put in an address and put a radius around it, and you're given 3 choices of the data that you can choose from. Those who live within that radius, those who live within 99 miles of the radius, and those who live beyond 99 miles of that radius. So you could take your competitor, let's say, put their address in, and then target everybody that doesn't live within 99 miles, and all of a sudden you're talking to their guests. Just saying. Especially if they have bad TripAdvisor scores. And you can solve their problem, whether it be whatever their problem is. We do have clean bathrooms. Sorry about not having clean bathrooms, or whatever it is. You can target based on the information that you can use. So, little things like that. All right. It's not just about daily and long-term, doing campaigns. It's about daily and long-term stuff. This is where we get into some fun stuff. Anybody familiar with what's called attribution? It's a term that gets thrown around buzzword thingy. What it's basically saying is that Google took away our usage of keywords. We used to be, not too long ago, where we looked for what words people used when they searched. And Google wanted us to change this. They took away the information on what words people were using. And they gave us attribution, which is basically, to read this, it says, this person went to your organic page, this person went to their social page, then they went to their organic page, and this is the conversion you got off of this. Well, they rank it according to the most productive to the least productive. The cool part is that in marketing now, we track everything that happens on all these platforms. For instance, on organic, we have analytics on our website. We know what our traffic is, where it's going, and everything else is going on our website. When it comes to paid, all of our paid campaign strategies, they're also tracked as to how they're engaged and where they are. And then when it comes to social, we know what the engagement is, what's shared, and what's being put up for postings and so forth. So we know all the data that's associated with each of these steps. So instead of something being random, you begin to quantify your attribution string specifically for conversion. For instance, as an example, say for instance you had a tulip festival here. This is actually an example at work. And they went to your paid advertisement of the tulip festival. Then they went to your social page and they engaged with your posting of your tulip festival. Then they went to your page and said, top 20 things to do within the market, and one of them was the tulip festival. And it was one of your better ranking conversions. What would you do as a strategy? You yank out that tulip festival content from the other 19s that are on the page and make it a separate page and put it in the string so that people will then identify, not have to re-hunt for the content within 20 other items or 19 other items. You begin to improve the conversion. So when you change something from a 2.5 to a 3.5, is that just a 1% increase? Math majors? It's quantifiably 10 times more in conversion for the same amount of money. Because it's a compounded value. You're not just improving it by a percentage, you're improving the actual conversion value by 100%. You're substantially growing revenue generation for the same amount of money being spent on the program. We're going to tie this back to revenue management because this is purely marketing at this point. But here's a caveat that has been in my axe to grind from only the past couple of weeks. There's a problem with our system right now. There are a lot of programs out in market that are adding augmented services to your website, which is your direct channel, but they are hijacking and taking credit and charging you for what they said they contribute to your conversion success. Now, I've blurred out the names to protect the innocent, but this is an attribution string for one of my clients, and they have a program overlay, which I'm not going to itemize out, but if you can see the golden arrows, these are their top conversion funnels. 3 of them are showing that the service is providing the conversion, and they get a big commission check for what they say they contributed to your website's direct channel success. Problem is, when they're on the site, these are the things that says, oh, this is what triggers our engagement. Problem is, all 3 of those things aren't defined well enough. They pretty much happen for every visitor. So what they do is they get on your site, and as soon as any of these things happen, they suspend where it came from, whether it be paid, or organic, or somebody typed to your website directly, and they take over the session and take credit for it.
How are they on your website?
Just put them there. These are services you buy that says, I can improve your direct channel conversion. I can improve what your website is developing. I can drive business to your website if you allow me to send your website to go through your funnel of conversion that shows up in your booking engine through to compare prices, incentives, sliders, things that come into your site. These are those purveyors that offer those services. You're actually giving them permission to get on your site. And they don't explain their total functionality with you. And because of that, I'm like, I think that's going to be smooth, buddy. That they're actually assuming credit for things that they weren't really augmenting. They weren't really improving the conversion of your site. They really weren't driving business to you. They were also taking business from you. Just a word of knowledge, because it's like, now, unfortunately, things like that are happening. I want to pop this up. This is our hotel. And this is where I'm going to point out why I said what I just said. This is a little plugin you do for free on Chrome. If you want it, I'll put in the links on that website like that told you. This is the brand site, obviously. 40 things are tracking on your website right now. For the whoever's here. 30 minutes? Okay, good. I'm actually keeping a good pace today. This is good. Okay. This is 40 things that know more about your website for those who are from this hotel than most people from the hotel know. This is all the overlays. Now, some of them, most of them, are allowed, okay? But a lot of these, especially from the property level, aren't even known. And this is not indicative of Hilton or this hotel or any particular brand. It can be as much as an independent hotel. A lot of people track stuff off of your website. Track stuff to your website. There's some invasive stuff that's here that they didn't even get permission to track from the website. They're tracking the IP sources that come to the website, blah, 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 so forth and so on, technology. But 40 things know more about what your website's doing than probably the person that's running the website right now. Just to consider. Also to consider is the duration of what you do. In this, just real quickly, the top line is a Facebook post for Halloween. The bottom line is Google Analytics for the website, that page in particular. Google has some really cool tools. Unfortunately, brand hotels, You don't have access to a lot of this information unless you have an entity site that you can control. But you can be persistent with your brand to give you specific answers to specific questions. Just asking, can I get access to analytics is not going to get you anywhere. Asking about attribution values, contribution sites, feeder markets, those kind of questions, they'll give you more concise information. So in this particular instance, that blue spike over there was a post on Facebook that drove to a page that was made for the Halloween feature. Now, every time when you do anything from posting or anything like this on social, you should always make sure there's a content place to drive it. You just don't let the post them on its own. You want to bring it to a page on your website. So that little spike in the lower part is the traffic that it drove to the page that was made for the content of the promotion. Well, you see the blue line died, because it was Halloween, was one of them. But the little orange line kept squiggling around. Now, what Google has, if you set your goals and you're tracking on your analytics correctly, is it will give attribution of the dollar value that that page contributed to the revenue that your website contributed to. It'll say that page helped with this, 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 and this. Turns out that this is a whole year that went by from when it was posted to there, contributed almost $40,000 more to the website's actual revenue generation because it got indexed and Google used it for other things and it got pointed to because it was related to a specific content piece. And so it got shared and used enough through exposure that somebody found it for whatever search they did on Halloween stuff, and through it they stayed in the site or maybe booked with you eventually, whatever, that it contributed to an overall revenue success that had nothing to do with what it was originally posted for. Okay. Cool stuff. Anybody using Tableau? Cool. I mean, we're all used to the world of Excel, right? Pivot tables rule. Tableau is kind of like Excel on like steroids a little bit. But it does allow you to create unstructured and structured data in some formats together and create correlations to stuff. So going back to the analytics portion, and this is answering really specifically your question about what can I do to help my revenue management strategies. So now we're going to take a little bit of data usage. On your Google Analytics, there's a thing called Google Tag Manager, GTM. And what that does is, remember those 40 things that we're tracking on the website? That's all shoved in what's called a GTM shell, so it doesn't slow down the load of the website. Well, all that tracking, you can track anything on the website if you set it up, including the dates that people put in that little field that said what dates you're interested in. Well, when people come to your site, Google knows where they came from. Then you add the fact that you know what dates they're interested in. That's the marketing side. Now we go to the revenue side. I know my feeder markets, I know what rate resistance to my feeder markets, I know my business cycle of my feeder markets, overlay the two. If I know that somebody from a geographic location is looking for specific dates of stay, I know what rate they might be interested in based on historical existence or what I'm trying to push for that market during those times. That concept is what created this Tableau form I made with a slider on the weeks. So, typical revenue management question. I need business third week of March. I got holes, I got whatever, non-repeat business, whatever. So you move a little slider over, and it tells you now your top sources of interest and the lead time that those people were interested in those dates. And it says, oh, well, you know, Chicago or Denver, 75 days out, they were interested in those dates. Denver, okay. You look and see what kind of business you got from Denver, or what your rate was that they went through, you see your own data, if you can. And you see what the rate average is for Denver. But more importantly with that is, remember that one example I had earlier on, I can slide back if we need to, that had that gray zone on the right-hand side that showed the discovery stuff? Well, that's what this is really trying to begin to show you is, what were people looking at you for what they were interested in? And if you know the dates leading up to when they're interested in the dates that you need the business, then you have better decisions to make. Some of the better decisions would be, what type of business are they driving with? Another Tableau, same slide. And what this is that this is now breaks down, according to the dates you've chosen, your top 20, based on your total 80% of revenue generated, your top 20 list. And you can't see it from there, too small. City, total revenue, which is what it's based on for ranking, ADR, average length of stay, average cost of service, to the cost of service part. So now I have the top 20 markets based on revenue contributed for the dates I'm most interested in, but also down here is I have the channel that it was used for. Why I find that important is, I as a marketer have to tell you as a revenue manager, whom we have to tell as a GM or operations or ownership, what it's going to cost for us to do this. So if I know I need business for that certain week, and these are my top contributors, maybe the top 3 contributors, the ADR is too low from a revenue management perspective. I don't want that level of business because it's just too low where I want it. I don't need that base business yet, perhaps. So I want to go for the higher fee business. I then would select that field, that contributing city, tell me the channel that's being used. Now in paid ads, I can then as a marketer tell you that its conversion for that market is 2.5%. And the average CPC is $1. So we can math how much money would I have to spend in that market for those dates with your rate to generate what revenue and what occupancy. It's forecasting the marketing, not with the data that you have. Oh, no, part of it, not all of it. So this is not rocket science. This is just understanding the platform, understanding the data sources that you have that you can use to create correlations of what do I have as resources? That's the biggest question you can ask your marketers. What kind of data can I pull from you? What kind of data can I use from you that can give me answers to, I need business for this week? Where is it? How much would it cost me to get it? And how much of it do I want? Yes?
Question on those locations where we're showing like the feeder market data, is it show like how is it determining where the contribution was from? Is it the actual point, like where the IP address where the person booked the reservation? Is it the address of the person who stays when it runs through PMS? Like,
No.
how are they determining that?
This data is purely coming from your website. This is not coming from your CRM.
Okay.
This is people that in San Francisco looked at your website and put in the dates that they're interested to see what your rates were. That's exactly how this data was created.
So, but like say like if you use a VPN, right? Like so like all of, for example, say your company here would look like it was in San Francisco. Would that?
It would affect it, absolutely.
It's on a VPN.
The other aspect to it too is, again, back to the location-based services. If you shut off the location-based services on your mobile phone, it would not tell you where it is either. Although, not with what I use. There are platforms you can use that would still go from your carrier data, not necessarily your Wi-Fi connection. So it would know what tower sequence you're in, to still give you a geographic location.
Okay.
But yes, to your point, VPN, it's going to skew. But, this is the scary part of that, there's trackers to know what VPNs are in use in market. So then I can tell you based on VPNs in use in market, what that person still might be looking at. But I wouldn't trust that data as accurate as I would trust this data. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, sir. Thank you for the question. Okay, simple stuff. This is free. Google has a thing called Fusion. You can load in a bunch of data. In this case, in this example, was one hotel, high-end resort, that was beginning to suffer on their business cycle. And so we took all the resources of where they got business from by zip code. We took their whole CRM data and just said, hey, where did everybody come from that stayed with you? And we made a heat chart. Now this goes down to the zip code. It's static, so we can't do it. But it goes down to the zip code. To show you how to think through the processes with this, what we did with this, it's like, okay, so how useful is this other than making a pretty map? Well, we knew that because it was a high-end place, you had to have a certain level of income. So that's a correlation. Income, zip code. So we created an XY graph with that. I said, okay, let's go over and create a quadrant system. Let's quantify the revenue that was generated by zip code correlated to the income level of that zip code. And you can find that on census stats. It's not even hard data to find. Create a quadrant. In a quadrant system, everything in the upper right-hand corner is doing well for you. Everything in the lower right-hand quadrant should have been doing well for you. So these guys down here, I want to place them close by here, had the propensity, based on their income, and historically have done business with you, but they weren't producing as much revenue as some of their brethren zip codes above them, which had high income and also high revenue generation. So we just combined old school tactics. We went over and did a nice little mailer piece, snail mail, that said, no special packages. Just, hey, remember us, come on out. Remember how much money you had before for everybody that's in those zip codes. 30% lift in less than 30 days, just because we reminded them that they were there. It's a lot of times because we're barraged with so much content that we tend to forget some of the good stuff. This is an example of frustrating data, but usable. This, if you in your CRM system can pull your arrivals report, and your OTA data looks like what? Oh yeah, at guest.booking.com, at guest.booking.com. It's useless emails, right? No offense. You do it on purpose. It's all right. Any use for this? I'll tell you the categories. Arrival, confirmation numbers. Guest name, useless emails, creation date, arrival date, rate code, blah, blah. It's official term, blah, blah. What can you do with data like that?
Lead time.
Say that again, sorry.
Lead time.
Lead times? Yes, actually you can, and I'll explain how we do that, yes. What is useful in this categorization, I should say?
Would it be rate code for charging?
Rate plans, yes. What else?
The non-OTA email addresses.
But yeah, those ones you skip right out. Some of those right out there, right? That's here. What else? Confirmation numbers. That's your key to your system. That gives you more data if you want to pull it out to then highlight all those confirmation names and extract out more information. Barring that you can, because there are systems that can't, barring that you can't, you can correlate them also with name. So that even if you can't pull extra data out, you have their name to correlate them with, and you can see what other information you have about those same names. So you have another email that may have used when they checked in or something like that. It takes a nice interface with CRM to do this, but the usefulness of this data is, going back to the point, you have a rate code and you have a date. You can see propensity of interest. You need to model something that says, why and where did these people come from to use this rate for these dates? And you can reconstruct the feeder market perhaps, or you can reconstruct the demand cycle perhaps. The reason why I just put it up, other than because we all see these things, there's no piece of data that's useless. It's just how useful it can be. It's maybe this is a piece to a puzzle to something else you're working on that you have much more data on. This is a little piece of something too. Okay, now I'm going to start running out of time, so I'm going to go fast. All right, I'll make 4 statements. Those are the 4 statements. Websites will be a thing of the past. Okay? And I say that, and I'm going to skip the videos for these. 15 minutes? Okay, we're going to go real fast on this. Dynamic websites. Websites are going to go away. We're going to have portal sites. Enough is known of our usability that when we go to a website now, which will be a website will be a portal, is it'll know enough about why we're going there that it'll put content in front of us. If I'm on my email talking about a business trip to Orange County, and then I go to the Hilton website, I'm going to see business pictures, information content-wise about website, when internet accesses, shuttle programs, and so forth, what a business traveler would be interested in, and bookings and packages associated with business travel. If it isn't why I went there, and I click another navigation system that was about bringing friends or family or something like that, the images and the content will change. So the websites will become dynamic. We'll skip that. It's done by all of this. And the reason why I can fly through all this is because it's in the slides, you can see it. Okay? I do want to make up some points on this. We talked about Amazon Echo. Amazon Echo, when it first started, could do 10 things. That was only less than 2 years ago. It now does 16,000 things. 16,000. And the scary part of it is, it and Google are going for the same thing that Apple's going for. Did you know that Google changed its mission statement? It used to be kind of fun to say Google was originally trying to do no evil. That was their mission statement for a while. Their new mission statement is to be the ultimate assistant. What does that mean? It means asking a single question and getting a single answer. Think about search engines. Search engines give you choices. Google wants to give you an answer. So does everybody else. That's why you're doing these assistants and the AIs. When you ask a question, it gives you an answer. Not, oh, well, we're following 15 choices. It wants to give you just an answer. That is, and this is just to touch some stuff, this is Microsoft getting into your hotel space. It wants to control your room. Something else Marriott is doing right now is that they're testing Siri and Google Assistant as to which one they're going to start putting into their hotel rooms. The issue is, there's a whole mess of legalities wrong with that because they listen all the time. And you've already seen it in the news creeping where that stuff is now getting subpoenaed for whatever reasons. And so there has to be some new legal thing that has to pop up to control all that as time goes on. Sorry for rushing, but I do want to get to the challenge. Okay, search box is going away. That's a really cute video, by the way. I'll get back there. All right. And that's everyone's Alexa. This is an example of Google Assistant. This, and I'm just going to say what the video was going to say. This is a software that the people that built Siri used to be an app that you could download on the iPhone. Then Apple ate it up and made it a part of their system. The guys kept on working and doing something else. They made a thing called VIV, V-I-V. You can look it up and see these videos, but you don't hear anything more about it. It's because Samsung just bought them. And it's disappeared, so they bought the Samsung. VIV is a program that writes itself. You can ask crazy questions. Is it hotter tomorrow than it was 3 Thursdays ago in front of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco? Siri's going to say, yeah, nice try. This will figure out what you said, figure out where it needs to pull data, create its own program in less than 10 milliseconds, and give you an answer. and then takes that, if there's another reason to use it for another question. Programs writing programs. Skynet, which I have a video for. Anyway, that's that program. All right, meta search. Got to get into this real quick, and we're going to skip the questions. Okay. Meta search is something you got to know. These are the spaces that you need to be on. Meta search isn't just about large platform distribution. It's about the data that's being used for the meta search. Anybody not familiar with the term meta search? It seems like such a everybody uses the word. Meta search is actually dynamic data, the ability to pull data in real time for real use. I'll give you a very specific example. Google's Trip app, Google launched the cross-device tracking, yes, and so on. Here we are. All right, anybody familiar with Facebook DAT, Dynamic Ads for Travel? I actually had the pleasure of helping build this with a company out of Shanghai. I traveled there a lot to do this. Called Eversoft, and they work with Facebook. It's really weird to be sitting around a room with Facebook and these guys that were like super smart and they're like looking at you and like, you go ahead, talk to me. So what DAT does, all this information, you ever see an ad that says, oh, from 109 to 109, and you click on it and there you go, 109 right anywhere. That's a static ad. This is a dynamic ad. Dynamic ad for travel. Everything you see an arrow pointed to was built for your benefit. The logo was the chosen one based on the product that you'd be most interested in, down to what you remember, the date you were looking for the rate that was available in that date. So when you went to this link, the inventory was actually there for that rate. Imagine the conversion increase with that probability in there compared to the, it doesn't exist anymore. All of this is dynamic. And then you add Facebook's power of filtering on top of this. Who you are, where you are, what you're knowing, what you're interested in, when you're looking, what you're sharing. It's literally turning into a market of one. To answer your question about revenue generation. And this one you just have to play back, like I said, off the deck. This is Lucy, which is, you ever hear of Watson? IBM's thing? Okay. This is Lucy. It's Watson for marketing. You can shove everything into this thing, structured, unstructured data, miscellaneous stuff, and it will actually give you can ask a question, talk to it, and say, hi, what should I do about getting business on March 3rd? And it'll tell you. Where, what, how, when, what channel, how much money to spend, where you should do this, who you have. It'll give you all that. And if you plug it into its system, it'll run your email campaigns.
Is this a system that you partner with, or that you pay for?
You pay a lot for it, yeah. Right now, actually, if you ever want to play with Watson, if you're into like data crunching kind of stuff, Watson's $30 a month. It's fun as heck to throw stuff in. It just comes up with some crazy stuff, correlations and stuff. Okay, video stuff. Yes, lots of stuff. We all went through the Pokemon thing, which was our first taste to augmented reality. It is a value proposition. As a matter of fact, like I said, with this camera and the 360, lots of fun discussions about it. But it's changing how we're engaging our world. And this is also one, live. I do a live show every Friday for HSMAI. We have about 1,600 people, 22 different countries that join us every Friday. It's about 2 hours. We get into all crazy topics with a bunch of guest speakers from all over the world. It's a lot of fun. It's like the little talking heads, like the little Brady Bunch. And we're all talking about where people come in from all over the world, join, sit and talk, and we have a chat room and stuff. It's a lot of fun. You're more than welcome to join. The link will be on the website as well. And we do it on Facebook, we do it on YouTube, we do it on Periscope. I mean, this live thing is what's happening now, and there's ways to help doing things live. Like, have your chef show the dinner special for that evening prepared quickly in the kitchen. Just pull in the phone, and all of a sudden you're selling better dinner specials. Have your bartender do a fun thing behind the bar, or just talk about what's going to happen that evening, and you have a better bar experience. These are the ways that you can interact with some of this technology to this. There's the link. I want to get to the challenge while we have 5 minutes left. Anybody come up with one? What's the problem? Please give me a problem. You literally have undivided attention in a room full of people that are incredibly smart.
I have a problem. So one of my properties used to be the value. It's in a weird submarket, right? My particular property used to be the value property in terms of rate, right? So as Porter Ranch's left, things have happened. Now my property doesn't stick out as a value price point because now the full service hotels are now the value price compared to mine. So we're losing share from an occupancy and from a price standpoint. How or what could be done from a marketing standpoint to regain market share or become flat to where we were last year, which is going to be quite difficult because it's a completely different year.
First off, everyone hear the problem. Yeah? Everyone come up with pretty much, if you mind my recap real quick. Used to be the low price leader in the market, and everybody that was above in their rate tier decided to play rough and go down to the lower rate with you. You're no longer the price leader, your product doesn't pair up to them, they're taking the business.
Yep.
Okay. How big?
32 rooms.
Okay. Competitors who took your business, brand or unbranded.
Both.
Okay. Average size.
Probably up to 100 rooms.
Okay. Branded ones, we'll kill them in just a second. Second, there's a platform that I would recommend that you go called SERPstat, S-E-R-P-S-T-A-T. It's $40 a month. It'll tell you exactly what your competitors are spending their advertisement on right off the bat.
You
So
said
what's
SPR?
that one?
SERPstat, S-E-R-P-S-T-A-T. It's a platform you can use that you plug in your competitors and it'll tell you. Another one's called SpyFu, S-P-Y-F-U.com. That'll tell you what their advertisement looks like.
Can you repeat that again?
Oh, I'm sorry. SpyFu.
I haven't heard of this.
Sorry. I just want to shoot it in 5 minutes because I almost ran over.
Spy?
SpyFu, S-P-Y-F-U. Literally SpyFu. Okay, and the other is SERPstat, S-E-R-P-S-T-A-T. This will immediately get you an identity as to who your competitors are in market and what advertisement they're doing. Also where they're ranking in comparison to you. Just like your old SWOT analysis, what is it you are in direct comparison to? Is this a standalone independent?
It is.
Cool. You're gonna kick their ass. All right. Branded off to the side, they will only go below a certain threshold of brand identity within the market. So everything you can do about localizing what you're doing in the sense of specifics as to everything that you can attach is called citation work. Anything you can connect to that is local based, they won't do, or they can't do, or they're limited to doing. Usually Marriott in particular does 5 of them, Hilton does 10 of them.
You Marriott that's close to us.
Okay.
2 of them actually.
Okay. Full flags?
Yeah, one's residents and one's are renovated Beverly Hills.
They're like big lumbering outfits, and they don't really, because here's the thing they do. How many of the brand are in market with them for Marriott? 3?
Yes.
Yeah, they usually do pairs. Brand saturation is killing them right now. Everyone, Hilton Wise and everybody, but more specifically Marriott with the Starwood merger, their brand saturation in the market is killing them. Because they have to be nice to everybody, which means they can't be good for anybody. And so they have to keep everything nice and even. And so the full flags usually get the leftovers, and they try to push the little ones because they have a higher yield. So, I digress. So, what the brand is first thing to do is localize your citation work. Connect to everything from the high school football team to whatever it takes to identify that you're sharing and collaborating localized data. There's a great site, if you want to see a good example of social interaction, called Thrill List. Thrill, just the T-H-R-I-L-L-I-S-T. And what that site is a great example of how social should work within the community of awareness in the market. Because it's not about, here's our local list of events, and here's our local advertisement for those local lists. This is real people engaging with real cool things that are going on within and around your market. The other thing I would suggest is what market is symbiotic to you? Which one, when people are looking for you, what other market do they tend to look for other than you?
The closest one would be Westwood Century City.
Okay. Now, is it because it's in proximity or because it's similar in the type of market you are? Because, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Key West hotels I used to be fighting Aspen all the time. And you'd say, well, no, they're not the same. They're exactly the same. Because if somebody's going to sit down and say, do I want to go swimming or do I want to go skiing?
It's not the same, but it's more so proximity.
Okay, so it's a proximity-based competitive set. I would take the same tools I just told you and kind of look at who is good in that market.
Okay.
I would take whatever you saw as being top end to them and immediately duplicate it, and then take it to what your identified foreign market from one of those programs showed you. For instance, the search site will tell you what you are showing up for. So take their ads, put your name, put your images, put your keywords, information, and start launching campaigns associated with it. Keywords still get used in ad campaigns, by the way. That's how you identify them. So use that first and test the water. I would do at least 10 ads, 2 different campaigns. And I say 2 different campaigns because you want to be able to shut one off completely if the other one's performing better. It's a matter of what's called optimization, and people use the word, but the reality of optimization is you have 10 things that start, 5 don't work, you shut them off to the side. You don't get rid of them, you just shut them off to the side and focus on the 5 that are. Then the 2 that work out of the 5, you shut them off the 3, and leave the 2 that are working that are. The one that's best, you leave that one and shut that one off. Then you find out why that one is working by A/B testing. Is it the image? Is it the offer? Is it the content? Is it the landing page? Everything you build on these ads has to go to a page. Don't let that ad sit by itself. It drives to an ad or a piece of content. Everything that you should make an ad about is specific to your market that the brands aren't doing. Now, the independent hotels that you're competing against, big or small?
Medium size, at the minimum of maybe 50 rooms.
So they're just a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Who's the worst one that you're competing against? In the sense of what they do better than you?
In terms of size of rooms?
Yeah, well, whatever the independent hotels, skip the brands for right now, the independent hotels, what's the hardest one you're competing against right now? Not by name, but just what's good about them that you tend to have to fight?
What's good about them is location because they're right next to a shopping mall that's well known and not too far from another big mall that's further down the way.
Okay, so shopping is their key. Is that the only reason your market has a strong value right now, is market shopping?
I would say yes, so because the boulevard where we're at, it's a bunch of shops, retail and restaurants going all the way down. We just happen to be the start of it. So it's almost like you can stay there and still get to where you need to go, but not offering the same values of all the ones that are around us.
Are they offering anything as a direct value correlation to the retail that they're next to? Are they offering some special? Am I done? Hold it. Am I done? Stop. Okay. With it, real quickly, go over it. Go to those retail outlets that they're not taking advantage of, and develop a direct relationship with them on incentive. Say, I'm going to offer what you have. I don't care. Give me a discount. Give me whatever you want to tell me I can offer, and what is unique about your stores. And let me, as a fellow local business owner, highlight that on my website. I want us all to succeed. And so now you begin to show that you're correlated with them and they're not. No matter how close they are, they see you first. They then have to decide whether they're going to step away from you to your competitor because they've identified you with why they're going there. That just doesn't go for retail, that goes for everything.
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
On the site where you said you're showing what the competitors are spending marketing on,
Mm-hmm.
can you see how successful that is for them?
Yes. It'll actually rank the ads how well it's
Oh
doing.
my god. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and that's not all the better ones. There's one called Ad Guru too, Ad G-O-O-R-O. That is another one that it costs money to do, but it's really good.
ADD.
Ad Guru, A-D-G-O-R-O. And with that, I'm sorry, I ran out of time, but the link's there, all that stuff's there. And yeah, it's Victoria. Sorry, thank you.